Shiro's Surprise Trip by VeryBerry. Narrated by Coniglio. The hottest summer days were over. Shiro the rabbit had the feeling that something special was coming up. She looked at her calendar and saw a bright red circle.
The day is finally here,
Shiro thought.
I can't wait to see Mom and Dad.
She grabbed a big bag and started filling it with everything she needed for her trip home. Before long, everything was packed and Shiro was off. At the station, there was hubbub all around. Shiro found a little shop selling yummy bentos and snacks.
I have a big journey ahead of me, she thought. I'd better get something to keep me going.
She asked the shopkeeper for a bento, which came with a bottle of grass tea.
Oh wow, this feels heavy,
Shiro thought as she picked up the bento.
I wonder what goodies are inside.
On the train, Shiro sank into the soft seat and smiled as she watched the scenery pass by.
I wonder if Mom and Dad will be surprised to see me,
she thought. She hadn't told them she was coming home. It was all part of her big surprise. As she imagined their happy faces, she felt a little rumble rise up from her belly. Pop! Shiro opened her bento. The tasty aroma of fresh grass and sweet fruits filled the air.
Wow, this looks great,
thought Shiro. She happily tucked in, enjoying the crunchy grass. Shiro couldn't believe how many tasty treats were packed into the bento. There was freshly harvested grass, clovers, carrots, and even rabbit-shaped apple slices. After finishing her bento, Shiro gulped down her grass tea. The scenery outside slowly changed from rows of buildings to vast mountains. At last, the train pulled into the station, but Shiro still had some way to go. She bought a bus ticket and joined the queue. The next leg of Shiro's journey would be a long bus ride. Her home was at the very last stop. Eventually, Shiro was the only passenger left on the bus. It slowly trundled along a narrow lane before finally pulling up to the last stop. As she stepped off the bus, Shiro noticed that the sun had already started to sink behind the mountains. The endless song of cicadas filled Shiro's ears. It reminded her of long summer nights with her family. As she looked across the fields, she noticed two familiar figures in the distance. Shiro took a deep breath and called out at the top of her lungs.
Mom! Dad!
Oh, I know that voice, said Shiro's father. It's Shiro! Cried Shiro's mother. She's home! Shiro's parents couldn't stop smiling as they called out to their daughter.
Hi, Shiro! Hi, Mom! Hi, Dad!
Shiro replied, waving excitedly. Behind her, the sky was turning from yellow to orange.
It's so good to see you again!
Shiro's Surprise Trip is written and illustrated by VeryBerry. Narrated by CaroCabaConiVO. Printed, bound, and published by Ishida Bookbinding.